Hey everyone, happy new year, happy 2023. Oh my goodness, can you believe it's 2023 already? I feel like the last few years went by so fast, but also so slow at the same time. It's just been a weird time in life, but yeah, I'm happy to be starting a new year, and I'm excited to show you all my favorite products of 2022 in today's video. So I actually used all of my 2022 favorites to create this look today. So before we get into that, please give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and also hit the bell notification so you don't miss any future videos. So yeah, let's get right into the video. All right, first video of 2023. I am so excited to be jumping into this look and showing you guys all the products that I loved this year. My makeup really changed a lot this year. I've really gravitated towards a more natural look, a less is more approach, and just using really good quality products versus maybe using more trendy products like I used to. So first things first, I'm going to be starting with my base. So I'm not really a huge primer girl, but I've fallen in love with this one by Charlotte Tilbury. I call it a primer. I'm not sure exactly what it's classified as, but it's the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I think it's kind of like a base and a tinted moisturizer all in one. So I use the shade Fair, and I love this just for mixing with my tinted moisturizer, or sometimes I even layer it on underneath foundation if I'm looking for a little bit more of a glow. So I pretty much apply this all over the high points of my face. I focus on the cheekbones, in the center of my forehead, a little on my nose, and sometimes on my chin. Today I did it, but I don't always do it. I just put the tiniest little amount. But yeah, any areas that I kind of want to highlight and accentuate and add more glow, I will apply the Hollywood Flawless Filter. It is stunning. And then this favorite hasn't changed for quite a while. I've been using this product for years. I've gone through, I want to say like 4 bottles of this. This is the Nars Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer, and I use the shade Terre Neuve. I take a little bit on my finger, and before I blend out that Hollywood Flawless Filter, I just dot this in the areas that I want a little bit of coverage, and I'll blend it out with a foundation brush. By the way, best foundation brush of the year goes to Hourglass. This is just a stunning foundation brush. I love the shape. It kind of looks like a little cat paw almost. So once I've got both of those products on my face, I'm just going to take the brush and start pressing it into my skin. The reason I love this tinted moisturizer is because it literally looks like my skin. Never once has it caked on me, balled up on me, gotten like curdly on my skin. It has always looked good, and it just gives the most beautiful glow to your skin. It is not a super dewy finish, but it's certainly not matte. It's just like a really pretty skin-like finish. Me personally, I'm not a big foundation girl, so I have one favorite foundation of 2022, which I will tell you after I applied this, but I'm definitely more of a tinted moisturizer kind of girl, and this one has just been faithful to me for so long. If you haven't tried it, you seriously need to. I recommend this to everyone, all my clients. People ask me what I'm wearing on my skin all the time, or people just compliment me on my skin when I'm wearing this, and I just love it because it looks like people think I'm not wearing makeup when I'm wearing this. So I always tell them it's this tinted moisturizer, and it just does wonders. I always get way more compliments on my skin when I'm not wearing foundation, and I always feel way more confident when I'm not wearing foundation, with the exception of this next foundation that I'm going to talk about. This is the Kosas Revealer Skin Improving Foundation, and I say I don't like foundations, but I love this foundation. It's so good. It reminds me a lot of the Nars Tinted Moisturizer actually, except it has more coverage. It has that same kind of effect. My skin looks like skin. It's got a glow, and I believe this has, yes, it has SPF 25 in it, so bonus points for that. I'm actually going to apply just a tiny little bit of that on my skin. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that in areas that I want a little more coverage. Usually those areas are my cheeks, a little bit along the jaw area. I just feel like sometimes my skin is a little uneven. Moving on to concealers. One of my favorite concealers of the year is actually from Kosas also. This is their Revealer concealer, and I wear the shade 0.5N. This concealer is also very much a natural vibe. I just feel like it applies so nicely. As I get older, I'm definitely a little bit more picky with concealers than I used to be when I was younger, just because concealers now settle into my fine lines ever so slightly, which they never used to. So now I pay a little bit more attention to concealers that aren't gonna settle into my fine lines, and this one does not. I actually find I don't really need to set this concealer, which is surprising because I'm a huge like under eye setting powder kind of girl. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this concealer overall. I just think it's amazing. I'm just gonna blend that out using my Hourglass concealer brush. This concealer brush is my favorite of this whole year. I love this brush. I don't think I could live without it now. So if you're looking for a really good concealer brush, this one's a little pricey, but worth every penny. I am obsessed with this brush. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start blending that concealer out under my eye. More so pressing instead of dragging, just because I want to be really gentle with my under eye area. I really like how it has a bit of a dewy finish as well for when I don't set my makeup. Like for example, I'll wear this when I'm wearing pretty much no other makeup. I'll put a little bit of concealer on and maybe a little bit of a lip liner, just to like go to the gym or run errands or something like that. Looks so good and lasts throughout the day without me having to set it. So honestly, this concealer is really deserving of my favorite concealer of 2022. I will mention one more concealer. This is the Hourglass Vanish concealer, and this is more of a concealer for heavier coverage, covering blemishes or dark under eye circles, just anything needing a little extra love. I have reached for this concealer over and over in the last year, and it's really been a lifesaver for those moments where you just really need coverage. Moving on to bronzer slash contour, I have one favorite of 2022, and for me, I think this is an obvious choice. If you watch any of my videos from this year, you'll know I use this in pretty much every single video. This is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick. I use the shade Light Medium, and this is just the perfect contour slash bronzer shade for me. I just think it's cool enough to look like contour, but it's also not too cool so that I have to add a warm bronzer in after. It's just perfect. How I used to like applying this bronzer was straight from the stick onto my face, but how I recently have fallen in love with applying it is taking a brush. This is my Rèphr 04 brush, and I just take a little bit of that bronzer and apply it to my brush directly, and then I will go ahead and just start tapping that on my cheekbone. If I picked up a little extra, which I did this time, I like to take it up on my forehead ever so slightly, just kind of on the perimeter along my hairline, and then anything left over on my brush I just take along my jawline very softly, and I really just keep working this into my skin until I get a seamless finish. But yeah, that's it for bronzers that I really loved in 2022. I'm not a huge powder bronzer girl, so I just thought I would leave it with a cream bronzer. That's all I use. Moving on to blush. Okay, this one was hard for me to narrow it down, but I narrowed it down to 3. I could have picked more, but I think these are my top 3 that I used in 2022. In first place, we have the Charlotte Tilbury Pinkgasm blush. It gives you kind of like a strobe effect on your cheek, which I like personally. I know not everyone is into that, but I really love the glossy kind of strobe look that this product gives. Also, Madison Beer uses this, so I would like to look a little bit more like Madison Beer, so I will use this. I'll take what I can get. My second favorite blush of 2022 is the Saie Dew blush, specifically in the shade Rosy. I want to try all the shades. This shade is just so pretty. I just have been reaching for it a lot. I actually kind of got it near the end of 2022, so I haven't used this for a very long time, but it very quickly became an obsession for me. It's just the right amount of dew, not quite as strobe as the Charlotte Tilbury, so if you are a little bit turned off by the strobe effect that the Charlotte Tilbury gives, I would give this one a shot. This is just a really natural, dewy, skin-like finish. Also, I love the big, thick applicator. I just have been loving that kind of doe foot applicator lately. Okay, so I think the first place winner of my favorite blush of 2022, although It was pretty close, honestly. I will say it was pretty close between these three. This is the Merit blush. This is their cheek color in the shade Beverly Hills, specifically the shade Beverly Hills. It is perfect. It is absolutely perfect. It can do no wrong in my eyes. I love this blush and I've used the heck out of it all year long. Specifically for my fair skin tone, I just feel like this gives the prettiest natural flush. How I apply it, I just go right in with the blush onto my cheeks. And you can be pretty liberal with this because it is pretty sheer. So I do just that. This really is more of like a cheek balm in my opinion. It applies very sheer, but it's just so beautiful. I love that color and it just catches the light. And honestly, overall, Merit as a brand has really come on my radar this year. I love the idea behind their brand. I love that they're kind of for the minimalist girly, but that doesn't want to cut corners and still have like high quality products, beautiful packaging. So yeah, this Merit blush I think is in the #1 spot for me, which is saying a lot because I am a blush fiend. And you honestly can't apply too much of this, which is good for someone like me because I'm known to be a little heavy-handed on the blush. So I'll show you how this just layers so pretty. Look at that. Stunning. Okay, moving on to brows. I'm going to kind of brush over this pretty quickly because brows can be a little tedious. I have 2 favorite brow gels from last year. Surprisingly, I really liked the Bareminerals Strength and Length Brow Gel / Serum. I just found myself reaching for this over and over again. This is a very like natural hold brow gel, but the brush is just so good. My brows look so pretty and just fluffy and natural every time I use it. It's definitely not like that laminated brow look. If you're more of a natural brow girl, a low maintenance brow girl, definitely try this product because it actually strengthens and lengthens your brows. It's really nourishing and my brows never feel crusty with this. It's just a really good one. And then obviously we have the Kosas Airbrow. This gel is just so good. It can give you the laminated kind of look or it can give you the more natural fluffy look, which is generally how I use it. I love the brush. It's a tiny little brush, can get right in there. It's just good. It's a really good brow gel, lasts all day long. I hope you can tell the packaging is so pretty. It's got like a little iridescent rainbow finish. Makes me happy every time I look at it. Okay, so last year I didn't use a ton of brow pencils. I know right away if I'm gonna like a brow pencil or not, and these 2 are the ones I just reach for the most often. And for me, that was the Shiseido Brow Ink Trio in the shade Ebony 04. I just really reach for this all the time. It's just got this thin tip, it's retractable, and then on the other end, it's got this thicker brow comb, brow brush spoolie, and I actually really like the spoolie on this. I think for me, I just really liked the color of this product. It's a really nice, kind of cool toned ebony shade. But the brow pencil that I've been using recently is this one by Brow Code. This is their Imitations brow pencil in deep dark brunette, and it's kind of like the same thing. Kind of reminds me of the Anastasia Brow Wiz. It's got that same fine little tip and then a little spoolie on the end. But yeah, I'm gonna use the Brow Code one to fill in my brows today. You guys, tell me about your Christmas. How was your Christmas? How was your New Year's? Honestly, mine was amazing. I went back to my hometown in Alberta to celebrate with my family. My husband and I went, and it was so lovely. We both felt so just blessed, and it was so nice to spend time with my family. It was kind of the first time we got to do that as a married couple, so it was really special. But yeah, tell me about your guys' holidays. I really do want to know what you guys did. Do you guys have any crazy stories to share from your Christmas or New Year's? If you do, please leave a comment and share. I love reading people's stories. All right, so that's the brows all done. I don't do a crazy lot. I kind of just fill in the tail and any sparse areas near the front of my brow. But anyways, moving on to eyeshadow now, which I'm so excited about. Eyeshadow palettes. I have 2 favorite eyeshadow palettes of the year. and one of them is the Jaclyn Luxe Legacy eyeshadow palette. I got this kind of near the end of 2022, but I pretty much haven't stopped using it since I got it. It has all the neutrals that you really need, and the shimmers are really pretty, although I do gravitate more towards the mattes in this palette. They're so buttery and they blend out so beautifully. I just love them so much. I really like the shades Peanty Butter and Farm Girl on top here. These two, so pretty, perfect for in the crease all over the lid. And my other favorite eyeshadow palette of the year is also a newer addition to my collection. But to be honest with you, I did feel like I was lacking a favorite palette or favorite palettes in 2022. I was just kind of like using whatever old palette that I had or switching to a new palette every day. There weren't many that like stuck with me that I used over and over again. But since I got this one by Victoria Beckham Beauty in the shade Signature, this is their Smoky Eye Brick. This was the only eyeshadow I brought with me to Alberta, and I didn't miss having a big clunky eyeshadow palette with me at all, honestly. The palette is like this big, super tiny, but like beautiful, like so solidly made. The detail, the tortoise, and the gold, and also like this is so unique. You don't see eyeshadows that are all in one pan like this, you know what I mean? Just a really cool palette, and I really love the colors. I'm going to start with the Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and I'm going to dip into the shade Peanty Butter, which has been my go-to crease shade. I'm not going to do a super crazy eye look for this tutorial because this is just what I wear on an everyday basis. So I'm just going to stick to kind of how I wear my favorites. If you like neutral shadows, especially matte shadows, but the shimmers are good too. If you are a neutrals girl like me, you absolutely need to try this palette. I really can't say enough good things about it. You can create so many looks with it. And I'm just going to take that same shade right under my eye, just along the lower lash line. I'm just going to take the shade Farm Girl and kind of like add a bit of depth and definition to the eye, mostly focusing that on my outer corner and my crease. As you can see, that added a beautiful depth to my eyes. I'm just going to softly blend that on my outer corner, on the bottom lash line as well. Okay, so now I'm going to reach for my Victoria Beckham Beauty palette, and I'm going to take this shade here. This is a little bit more of a pinky shade, and I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to like this shade at first, but I'm going to show you. This is such a beautiful and unique eyeshadow shade. I truly don't have anything like it. So I'm just going to take that and apply it all over the lid. This is so subtle, and it's got the lightest little bit of shimmer. It's not a shimmer shadow. It's not a glitter eyeshadow by any means, but it's like a satin, just a little kiss of something in there to keep your lids looking, I don't know, just a little unique, like it catches the light ever so slightly. I actually really love the shade right in the inner corner of the eye as well. I don't know, it just looks so pretty to me. I can't even describe it, and I would never think to put like a blushy toned eyeshadow on my inner corner, but it just works. Honestly, all the shades in this palette are beautiful. I really love this one here on the end as a crease shade, or after you've done like a smoky eye or your eyeshadow and you just feel like you need a little extra blend, you can go in your crease with that shade and it just softens everything up. This one here, the darker shade, is really good for like liner and stuff like that. I love doing a winged liner with that shade. And then this one here is good for just like deepening up the crease like I did today actually, or like darkening up the outer corner, adding dimension. It's really honestly all you need if you are a minimalist and want a palette that kind of does it all and you're a neutrals girl. Highly recommend this one. It is stunning. All right, moving on to eyeliner. This was probably the easiest one for me. Brush Brown 24-Hour Liquid Liner by MAC. This eyeliner has me in a chokehold. It is the prettiest liner, the easiest eyeliner to use, honestly, ever. I swear this is like goof proof. I cannot make a mistake when I use this. It just does eyeliner so well. Also, the color is just perfect. It's kind of a more cool brown, and the brush is really thin, so I can do that really skinny liner that I like to do. Like, look at that. I wasn't even like putting my arm, balancing it on anything, which for me, I like need somewhere to balance my elbow when I'm doing my liner. But look, it honestly looks perfect. It took me no time at all. This is the best liner. All right, moving on to mascara. I have 3 favorite mascaras from 2022 for different reasons. The first one is this one from Merit. This is their Perfect Black Lengthening Mascara. This one is really good for like a natural, fluttery lash kind of moment, like a no makeup. You can just like put a little bit of this on your lashes and it'll kind of just look like a lash tint. Super easy to remove too. It doesn't irritate my eyes at all. Really love this mascara. The second one that I absolutely loved, I went through an entire tube of it, is the Lancome Lash Idole mascara. So the one I have now is waterproof, and I will say not as big of a fan of the waterproof formula. I definitely liked the other formula better, but it's okay. I just love the curved brush. I'm a curved brush kind of gal, and I just find this gives me the most beautiful, long, fluttery lashes, and it keeps my lashes curled all day long. Kind of similar to the Merit mascara in the sense that like it doesn't give your lashes a really heavy full look, but just really long, fluttery, zero clumps with the non-waterproof version. My number 1 favorite mascara of the year is one that's been very popular. This is the Tower 28 Make Waves mascara. It is so cute. Also, okay, can we take a minute for my nails? Look how cute they are. These are press-on nails. These are from Kiss, and they were literally the easiest things ever to apply. I just glued them on. They've been on for like 5 days, and they don't look crusty. They're holding up so well. But anyways, back to the mascara. This is what the brush looks like. Again, this is a curved brush, which I love, but I feel like this one is more of like a dramatic mascara. It gives you volume. It is super buildable. It does not smudge. I've just really grown to love this mascara. I honestly reach for it every single day. It's such a good one. If you haven't tried it, you absolutely need to. I highly recommend this mascara. It changed the game for me. I honestly think I'm running a little low on this mascara at this point, so I usually apply 2 coats, but when it was a fresh tube, I really just felt like I only needed 1 solid coat. But this mascara is buildable, so you can kind of make it what you want. Okay, look at that difference. Look at this eye compared to no mascara. Just makes such a big difference, and it makes my eyes look way like doll-like and awake, and my lashes look really full and long and no clumps. For under eye powder, my all-time favorite powder of 2022 was this one by Laura Mercier. This is the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder for under eyes. This is the best for setting underneath your eyes. It is so finely milled. It's not going to gather in your fine lines, which, by the way, I have 0 fine lines, and I didn't set my concealer, and I've been doing my makeup for a while now. My concealer still looks perfect, so if that is not enough reason for you to go out and buy Kosas Revealer Concealer, I don't know what else will convince you. It is the best. Anyways, I'm just going to take that Laura Mercier powder on my little triangle powder puff from Amazon, which has been a game changer this year as well, and I'm just going to press that powder in underneath my eyes. I really don't know why I don't hear more people talking about this powder. I feel like it's majorly slept on. This is truly one of the best powders for setting my under eyes that I've ever tried in my life. Like, for me, it's hard to find a powder that actually brightens my under eyes because I am so fair and most brightening powders just don't really do anything. But this, like, look at how bright my under eyes look. And it's not heavy at all. It just is the perfect under eye powder. I think this will come as no surprise to everyone, but my favorite setting powder for all over the face is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder. I'm probably going to use it all up sometime very soon, but I set the rest of my face with this powder. Sometimes I even set under my eyes with this powder. I just like to do a really light dusting of any areas that I feel need to just be locked in place. Like right around here, I tend to get little smile lines, not usually with this base, but I will just take that Charlotte Tilbury powder, I do it around my chin too, around my mouth, a little bit on my forehead, just to make sure I get no lines and all my makeup just stays in place nicely. Ooh, I do want to do an honorable mention. For you powder blush girlies, I recommend this Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic powder blush. This one is in the shade Ecstasy, my personal favorite shade. And I just like to take a little bit on a fluffy brush and pounce that right on top of that cream blush. I don't always do this, but sometimes if I'm feeling like I need a little extra pop, I'll add the Charlotte Tilbury blush, and I just always reach for this one. I don't know why. I have a ton of powder blushes, but like this is one of the few that I actually use on a regular basis. It's just such a pretty color. Okay, last but not least, I'm moving on to lip products. And if you guys know me, you know I love lip products, so this was really hard to narrow it down. I'm going to start with lip liners. I was able to narrow it down to 3. Everybody knows my all-time favorite lip liner is Whirl by MAC. I will never stop repurchasing this. Mine is just a little nub. I have like 4 of them floating around, but this was the one that was closest to me at the moment. Yeah, it's the best lip liner ever. No one can convince me otherwise. If I had to only wear one lip liner for the rest of my life, it would be this one, hands down. No second thought, nothing. This is it. You need to try Whirl lip liner. It's good on pretty much any skin tone. It's just perfect, in my opinion. Moving right along, another favorite of this year was the Makeup Forever Wherever Walnut lip liner. I've used a lot of these lip liners throughout the year. The Makeup Forever ones, they're all really good, but this color in particular, I just keep going back to. I think I've gone through a few of these at this point. It's just the perfect kind of Your Lips But Better color, kind of like Pillow Talk vibes, but a bit more browny. It's just really good for overlining and everyday wear. My final lip liner favorite is this one by NYX. It is in the shade Natural. I've honestly just really loved the NYX. I think this is the suede. No, this is just a regular lip pencil. I've been loving the NYX lip pencils. I think the suede ones as well, I do enjoy. I think Soft Spoken is a suede one. Anyways, the shade Natural is probably one of my favorite shades of the NYX lip liner collection. It's just a beautiful, soft pink tone. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna swatch all those lip liners next to each other so you can see. So this is NYX Natural, which is truly how the name states. It's just a really natural Your Lips But Better shade. It's a bit more on the pink side. I really love this for overlining my lips when I'm not wearing a lipstick. I just throw this on with a little bit of lip gloss and it looks so good. This is Wherever Walnut. This is a bit more like brownie neutral, I would say. A little bit darker than the NYX one. And then this is Whirl. So as you can see, I have a type. Whirl is a little bit... Actually, it's very similar to Wherever Walnut. Whirl is like a little bit more plummy, I guess I would say, just ever so slightly. But they're very similar. I think I prefer the texture of the MAC Whirl a little bit over the Makeup Forever. The Makeup Forever one is like a little bit more creamy, whereas the MAC one is a bit more dry, and I like that. But yeah, these are my top 3 lip liners. I rotate through these all the time, and I will continue to be using them throughout 2023. I'm gonna go ahead and use Whirl for good measure. It's been a little while since I used this lip liner, so I'm gonna go ahead and overline my lips and show you why this is the best liner ever. It pretty much is the exact same shade as my lips, so it's pretty much undetectable when I overline my lips, which I love because I love to overline my lips. I mainly focus this on the centers of my lips, so on the cupid's bow here and right in the center here. And I don't usually take it all the way to the outer corners of my lips unless I'm doing like a full lip moment, like a full lipstick, all that jazz. But yeah, that took me like 2 seconds, and look how much more full my lips look, but it's like unclockable. Beautiful. So for lipsticks, okay, I actually don't have that many favorites of this year. I feel like I'm still kind of searching for my favorite lipstick, but I have a couple I will mention. These are the Rare Beauty matte lipsticks. I actually went to the launch of these lipsticks and I had the best time. It was my first time in LA and I got to meet Selena. Aw, that was like one of the highlights of my 2022. That was so special. It was like one of my first like influencer trips. Oh, I just get goosebumps thinking about it. I'll have to tell the story one day. Do you want to hear me tell the story of like, do you guys want to hear that kind of stuff? Let me know. But anyways, my favorite shades are Worthy and Humble. This is Worthy. It's kind of like a neutral, cool toned pink, just a really natural, similar to my lip shade kind of vibe. And then this is Humble. It's just a little bit of a warmer pink, still in the same kind of family as the last one. But yeah, these are just really beautiful matte lipsticks. They last a long time, and the entire shade range honestly is beautiful. I just wanted to show you the two I use the most. Wise is really beautiful. They're all really beautiful, honestly. The whole collection is stunning. There's not one lipstick from that collection that I don't like, which is crazy because I am picky about lipsticks. But I will say my most reached for lipstick is actually really basic. This is Faux from MAC. I've been using this lipstick for a very long time, and that was also the case in 2022. I just brought this everywhere with me. I just think it looks good with any kind of makeup look. This lipstick is so forgiving. Very similar to my lip tone. Like, how pretty is that? I love how I don't have to wear anything with this. Like, I don't have to lighten up the center. I don't have to put a gloss on. It just looks really beautiful on its own. This is just my go-to favorite lipstick of 2022. If you're a similar skin tone to me and you like kind of a neutral, it's a little bit cool, I would say, pink, I would really recommend trying this one. This is a classic, and I think I will always keep this in my collection. Moving on to lip glosses, this was another one that I had a very, very hard time narrowing down my collection. If you guys could see my lip gloss collection, I would say I definitely have the most lip glosses over any other product in my whole collection. I have so many, and I honestly am like emotionally connected to each and every one. But these are my all-time favorites. This is the Dior Lip Maximizer in the shade 013. This is just a classic. It is probably one of the most beautiful lip glosses that I've ever used. The finish is just so stunning. It makes your nude lipstick just absolutely come to life, and it gives you a very subtle clumping effect, but it's definitely noticeable in my opinion. I've used this gloss for a few years now, and I definitely think it will always have a place in my collection. Moving on, Tower 28 lip glosses. I do want to just say in general, I think the Tower 28 lip jellies were a favorite of mine, but my favorite shade is Pistachio. I also love Coconut, and I also love Chill. These are just beautiful. The formula is amazing. The packaging is so cute. I don't know. These just have a really special place in my heart. I want to try all the shades. Last but not least, so I don't know where my lip gloss that I currently have in rotation of this one is, but I have my new one, brand new in the box. I preemptively bought a backup of this lip gloss because I was scared they were going to discontinue it, and this was like my lip gloss find of 2022. I'm obsessed with this gloss. This is the Laura Mercier Lip Gloss Saie in the shade Melon Sorbet, and this gloss is perfect. I've used it in my videos before, but it's like this beautiful kind of peachy pink shade with an ever so subtle amount of glitter in it, but they're really super fine, and also it just smells so good. Like, this is my favorite lip gloss of 2022, hands down. But I think for this look, I'm going to use my Tower 28 Pistachio gloss. I just want a little bit more pigment on my lips, and this gloss does just that. It does add some pigment. I will show you what I mean. It actually matches this lip color so well, and look at the shine it gives. So to finish off the look, I'm going to talk about my favorite highlighter. So I don't wear highlighters very often, but I really like this one by Tower 28. This is their Super Dew No Shade highlighter, and this is actually like a clear highlighter. There's no shade, as you can see, no shimmer, no nothing. It's kind of like a clear balm that goes on top of your makeup to give you that really naturally dewy look. And what I like to do is I just take a little bit on my finger like this, and I'll just pat that on the highest point of my cheek. And this never disrupts my makeup, which I really appreciate. But it just adds the most natural, dewy finish to my cheek. You see how it just catches the light in such a natural, subtle way, and it doesn't leave any glitter on your face, no chunkiness, no nothing, which is what I look for in a highlighter. All right, that is it for my beauty favorites of 2022. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you've tried any of the products I've mentioned and if you liked them as well. Please leave your personal favorite products, beauty, anything, honestly, down below. I would love to know. Also, please let me know what kind of content you want to see from me in 2023. I would love to know what kind of videos you'd like to see on my Instagram, on my TikTok, here on YouTube. I just would really appreciate the recommendations. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the bell notification so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.